Good afternoon, everyone. In today's video, we're looking at a massive system bringing tornadoes, a snow, and a massive windstorm to the United States. If you guys did see in the latest community post on the channel, we only have less than 15 days until March 1st, which means that is the start of meteorological spring and the start of the official 2022 storm season. This is when the channel posts pretty much the most. Once to twice a day on severe weather outbreaks. There's a lot of information on this channel for severe weather, and we even do have an upcoming severe weather threat for the south. So we're looking at the Storm Prediction Center outlook right now. This is a slight risk for severe storms tomorrow. This is going to be for Wednesday. So we have a slight risk for severe storms. We have a marginal risk for severe storms, which is a low risk, but you still have a risk for those severe storms, and a general thunderstorm risk in the light green color. Let's look at our tornado threat, and we do have a 5% chance for tornadoes in Texas and Oklahoma, which means there's a chance for a live stream tomorrow. So definitely stay tuned for if I am actually going to do a live stream or not. But also a 2% risk for tornadoes. Again, that's going to be a lower chance for tornadoes, but you still have a slim chance to see a tornado or two in those areas. Let's look at that wind risk. We do have a 15% chance of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, so not a significant chance with this one, and also a 5% chance for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Hail, you're also going to see around a 15% chance for upwards of quarter-sized hail, and also a 5% chance around that. So tomorrow's definitely a decent risk for severe storms, but definitely a very decent risk for tornadoes, especially with this one. The day we're really going to be watching here is Thursday, where we have a very large slight risk in effect for portions of Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Arkansas, Kentucky, Tennessee, Missouri, and Illinois. And we also have a larger marginal risk for a lot of those areas as well, but even reaching into more of the Carolinas and Virginia. So very large area of severe weather for Thursday. And we have a probabilistic outlook. Again, not a significant risk for severe storms, but we do have a 15% chance, which means this possibly could be upgraded to an enhanced risk if the severe risk does need upgraded for a larger chance of tornadoes, hail, or wind. We're going to start the video by looking at the short range model. This is going to be the NAM 3-kilometer CONUS. So we're looking at the whole United States here. As you can see, this is going to be today. We're going to go forward here because this is the morning right now. We're going to look at around 2 p.m. Central. We do have a couple low pressure systems over there in the western half of the United States. We have some snow showers panning across the Rocky Mountains. We have some snow up there in the northern Midwest. Overall, not a lot going on today, but let's move forward here into Wednesday. And this is going to be 12 a.m. of Wednesday. Let's move forward even more. Still pretty much the exact same stuff going on, except we're seeing some more widespread snowfall in the Rocky Mountains. We are seeing, this is going to be afternoon hours of Wednesday, so that's when that severe weather threat is for. Let's go ahead and move forward, and overall, we're not seeing many severe storms here until we head into the overnight hours of Wednesday. We're seeing a lot of severe storms there. Starting to see some ice and some snow there in portions of the central United States. We're also seeing a large band of heavy rain panning across Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio as well. But we're moving into the early morning hours of Thursday. We're still seeing those severe storms for the early morning hours of Thursday. We're seeing some ice there near the Kansas City area. Some heavy snow also for central Kansas, and even for Michigan and Wisconsin is seeing some sort of snowfall. We're seeing a lot of ice there in Missouri. As you can see, we're still seeing a lot of heavy snow now moving into Kansas City once you reach into around 8 a.m. of Thursday. And you're seeing those severe storms still ongoing in portions of now Arkansas. We're going to be moving forward into more of the midday hours, where a lot of the ice mix and snow is now moving into Iowa and Illinois. That's also going to be moving into Indiana and Michigan here. So we're moving forward even more into the early afternoon hours of Thursday, and we're seeing a lot of that ice now moving into portions of Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio. You may also see some heavy snowfall on the back end of this low pressure system for portions of Missouri, Illinois as well. We're moving forward here. This is about the farthest we can go right now, but you can see that snowfall on the back side of that hitting portions of Illinois and Missouri. And also Indiana could see a little bit of a dusting of snowfall from this as well. But as you can see, a large swath of snowfall panning across from Kansas all the way into Maine there. And most of that rainfall is going to be for the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. Those areas are not really going to see that much snowfall at all from this system. But let's pan back a little bit. You can see those severe storms around 6 p.m. of Thursday. And those look to be developing just in the early afternoon hours of Thursday. You can't really see them right here. They're just little specks. But there is possibly a supercellular threat, which means there is a tornado threat. Even a strong tornado threat with this one for portions of the South. So even Thursday, it does have a higher chance of me live streaming. Tomorrow, I'm not totally sure yet, so definitely stay tuned for more info on that. We're going to take a short look at, or brief look at, the snowfall amounts and all the wintry weather, and then we're going to take a deep look into the severe weather side of things. We are looking at the name model here for the snowfall amount, and most of this is a very narrow swath. It is definitely a little widespread in spots, especially the Kansas City area. But as you can see, we're going to start off in Kansas here. We are seeing upwards of 10 inches of snowfall. More of central Kansas, upwards of over a foot of snowfall there. Kansas City could see upwards of 18 inches of snowfall here. Again here. Northern Missouri as well could see upwards of 15, maybe even 17 inches of snowfall. In northern Illinois, you're also going to see upwards of a foot of snowfall here. Once you're reaching into more like central Missouri here, that's where you're likely going to see a dusting of snowfall. Also central Illinois, around a dusting of snowfall as well. But again, Indiana also going to see around a dusting of snowfall. This is going to be a lot more north than that last system. But as you can see, Michigan also seeing upwards of 10 inches of snowfall there and more. And Detroit there is just going to miss that snowfall there at around just a few miles away from the upwards of a foot of snowfall. So Detroit is once again missing out on all the fun there. But as you can see, upwards of, again, a dusting of snowfall for most of the Northeast here. You're not really going to see that much lake effect snowfall because it's not going to be that cold over there. But as you can see, upwards of northern Maine, which is only really seeing the big amount of snowfall. Well, you're only seeing around a foot of snowfall for extreme northern Maine. Freezing rain could also be a big factor in this storm here, where you are also upwards of seeing a half an inch of freezing rain in spots over here. Mostly widespread, upwards of a half an inch of rain, but more of these greener areas, upwards of 3/4 of an inch to maybe even an inch of freezing rains. And this may not be super accurate because some of this is just going to be so heavy rain that it's not really going to have time to freeze. But still, upwards of a half an inch of freezing rain, that could be definitely devastating to those interstates, roadways and stuff. Especially the driving conditions will be horrible if you do have at least half an inch of freezing rain. But mostly widespread, I do expect upwards of a 1/4 inch to half an inch of freezing rain. But more localized spots, you could even see upwards of 3/4 of an inch or even an inch of freezing rain in more of those darker blues, greens. But again, more widespread, you're going to see upwards of 1/4 of an inch to half an inch of freezing rain, which again is going to be very very difficult to drive on roadways. It's going to be definitely damaging to power lines, trees, and all that because of that extra weight and stuff. So you'll definitely have some sort of power outages going on. If you do have a 1/4 of an inch to even like a half an inch to 3/4 of an inch, that'll definitely be quite difficult for those power lines, trees. It may leave some of those, and may leave thousands in without power. So definitely stay safe out there. Be prepared for both the snowstorm and the ice storm. It is not going to be as large as that last one, but it is still going to be panning across a large area in the Midwest. So definitely stay tuned for that. We're going to be looking at the severe weather side of things here. We're going to start off looking at the composite reflectivity here. This is going to be around 12 a.m. of Thursday. So we're going to move forward here throughout Thursday, and we're going to reach the early morning hours. So this is going to be around 4 a.m. very early here. We're seeing those storms already developing in portions of Oklahoma and Texas, just west of the Dallas-Fort Worth area and just southeast of Oklahoma City. We're going to be moving forward here in the Atlanta storms. They're definitely looking not super strong, but you're definitely going to see some sort of lightning from this. You're going to see heavy rainfall, maybe even some small hail, and winds could be definitely kicking up to around 50-60 miles per hour, but not super strong storms according to the latest NAM 3 km model. You may see possibly a couple tornadoes, brief tornadoes in there, but really not that much there. But once we reach into more of Thursday, we're going to reach into the lunchtime hours, and we're going to switch over to the southeast, where this is just going to be after lunchtime here, so very early afternoon hours of Thursday. We're seeing those storms definitely scattered across the region of portions of the Ohio Valley and also portions of the south. But let's move forward here as these supercells started to develop around the early afternoon hours, so around 3 p.m. or so. We're starting to see some of those supercells developing with the potential for that strong tornado threat if these are very discrete supercells. But as you can see, we're even seeing some potential hooks on these, so these definitely will be quite tornadic here in portions of Mississippi, and even Tennessee could see a potential tornadic supercell or two within this area of storms. But this is going to be around 5 p.m., so we're reaching into more in the evening hours. You're seeing definitely that type of supercellular type of tornadic event. So this definitely could be quite a small, so this definitely could be quite the tornado event if those ingredients are in place, which as we look at the significant tornado parameters, those ingredients are definitely in place for potential strong tornado or two. They're definitely not going to be significant tornadoes, but definitely a brief tornado, few brief tornadoes are going to be possible here, as we do have a few twos in the significant tornado parameter, which means there is definitely some tornado ingredients in place for Thursday and Wednesday. Definitely not a big tornado threat, but possibly even a strong tornado could be possible for those days. So definitely stay tuned to see if I'm actually going to do a live stream, a live coverage on this. Definitely make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you are new, and turn on post notifications. You won't miss a single upload or update on this upcoming major storm. And also share this with any friends or family that may live in any of these areas that may be impacted by this extreme weather. But as always, stay safe.